What's up, everyone? Good morning to all those of you in Asia. Good night to all those of you in UK, and good evening to all those of you in USA. Uh, yeah, it's like that kind of timing where everybody is in very different phases, and it's just great, like how through technology we can actually just gather over from different parts of the world and talk about our favorite stuff, about football, about our favorite club Spurs. Even though they are not doing very well, we can just moan about it. We can just chat about it. It's all fun, really. And that's one thing we all love about football. Like you can just chat about anything anytime, whether you are sad, whether you are happy. Even though as Spurs community, we are going through those sad times, the a bit of doom and gloom over the last few days, after since that Sheffield United loss and then that Wolf loss. I think it's been quite bad. And then now, since we are going to this Champions League game, it's been that sort of a season that has not been really easy for us as Spurs fans. And yeah, I haven't done streams lately as well, so I'm back like after about a week. And yeah, as you all can see, the rumors are not true. My channel is not bad. It's going on, and it will be going on for the coming week as well. We will be doing our normal stuff as well. So don't worry, guys. I'm still here. I'll be still doing all those things that I usually do. And I'll be having all your favorite guests as well to share with you all on different games, and the post match, the pre match, everything would be taking place. Before we go into anything else, I would just like to introduce our guest for tonight. You all know him. He's none other than America's number one Tottenham fan, and I think the host of America's number one Tottenham fan channel. In other words, you all love him. It's Will Stewart.
What's
Hi,
going on,
Will.
man? Good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Just all right. Like, just trying to be positive in all this time. How have you been?
Good. Good. Just a bit of busy week, busy weekend. All kinds of stuff. So, yeah, doing good.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I've been pretty busy lately as well. So, Will, since it's your first time, I think, joining me on the stream, we want to get to know you a little bit as well. How long actually have you been a football fan? Like, do you used to play football as a kid back, or soccer, as you all call it in America? Like, were you a soccer player in your youth as a kid? How was it like? Like, how did you develop that interest in football?
Yeah, I mean, I played, probably want to say third grade, fourth grade,
Oh,
as a kid. So it would have been like what, 9 or 10 years old is when I played for a couple of years, played goalkeeper, and center back. Um,
all
you know,
those
I'm
positions Spurs are bad at, right?
yeah, I'm tall, so that was a good fit. In fact, I wish I would have. I also played basketball, baseball, and American football as well, and a little bit of golf, tennis, and swimming too. But I wish I would have stuck with the soccer or the football because I was too short to be a good basketball player, but I would have been an excellent height to be a great center back or goalkeeper. So should have stuck with that.
If 6 feet five is short for basketball, I'm like, what's even tall in there for
7 foot,
basketball?
7 foot.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's tall. I'm like 5 feet five or 5 feet six. I think I don't think I can even play basketball in that case.
Yeah, no, 6'5" is short, man. So
Uh, yeah, 6 foot five is short. I'm surprised, really. So all that interest, I think, started there. And then was Spurs the team that you were always supporting? How did you end up supporting
no, not
Spurs?
really. So I mean, to be honest with you, after as a kid, after I stopped playing that, I mean, basketball was the sport that I played all the way up into my 20s. Um, and then didn't really follow, soccer or football for very long. But then when I went to Korea in 2003,
Oh, okay.
it's a lot more popular over there, probably, even though it's not the most popular sport in Korea. It's more popular than it is in the United States. So you start playing games like Winning 11. That was kind of like FIFA before it was FIFA, and then That was the Asian title, winning 11 for people that don't know. And then so started getting into that, got into national team for the most part, so the U.S. men's national team. And then my stepdad's British, and my stepdad's a Spurs fan.
Oh,
So when I was living over in Korea, I would watch, but like as you know, the games are on super late, right? There's maybe one or two, maybe if we're lucky, 4 games a year that are at a normal hour, right? The rest of them are 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
I
Um,
understand that.
and at the time, I'm old, right? So this is pre, subscription services and doing all of these things. So you just had to be lucky with who was playing when and at what time on IPTV. And at the time, there was no Sun Heung-min, right? So Korea, their big focus was on Manchester United. I never really supported Manchester United. Like I said, I didn't really have a club. I would just, I would just watch it if it was on. I tend to stay up late. Um, and but yeah, I followed national team. So World Cups from 2000. Watched a little bit of 2002, but really it was from 2006 onward is really when I started to watch on a regular basis. Friendlies and international type of type of games and stuff like that. And then when Son came to Tottenham, was really when I started. Well, no, that's not true. I started watching Tottenham, I would say, off and on when Clint Dempsey, U.S. men's national team striker in 2013, 2012, 2013 season. And then when Son came, there was another reason to watch. And then my son started playing soccer at around the age of, I want to say 9 or 10 as well. And that's really when I started getting like hyper into it. So, yeah.
So your son also, I think, played football for your state, I suppose, in US, or something like
Yeah,
that.
so my son plays for an ECNL club. He's played in the Olympic Development Program as
Oh,
well. He's
nice.
been on the top team for his state a couple times in his younger. He's getting older now, going through puberty. He's 15 now, so his dedication is waning a little bit, but he's still pretty talented little guy. So
I see.
not so little anymore. He's taller than you. If you're 5'6", he's about
Definitely taller
4 or 5 inches taller than you.
I'm not even tall enough to be a badminton player. Can you just imagine? So definitely, if I think most of the population would be taller than me. Uh, since you brought up a very good point, actually, was there any part for you, you as a father figure to your son as well, in having your interest in football that actually motivated your son to pick up the sport as well? Since you were very, as you mentioned, you were very sporty, very enthusiastic about the sport itself. Um,
No, not really. I mean, because like I said, I was a casual watcher. I would watch it casually, but it was really he went to school and they passed out a flyer for like grassroots football, and he came home from school, said he wanted to do it, and I said,
wow.
yeah, okay, that's cool. And we kind of missed the initial first sign up, and then he kept bugging me and kept bugging me and kept bugging me to sign him up. I mean, we played in Korea when they were kids. They have these like little futsal fields,
Yeah.
these miniature football pitches with
They,
artificial
they
grass
have
and
it
stuff
in
like that.
Malaysia as well.
Yeah, like it's like a fenced-in turf mini field, right? It's not quite futsal, but it's not soccer. It's like four side, 5 side little mini
Yeah,
fields.
five side, I think.
Yeah, and then so when he was a little kid, I used to take him there and we would play and stuff like that. But it was really because of him. So
Wow.
I figured if my son, if I'm gonna help my son be successful, then I need to know everything there
About
is to know about it. So you could say I've been like a hyper or a super fan for like the past 5 years, right? So
That's good to know, actually.
five
And
or
for
six
those of
years, yeah.
you, those of you who don't know Will, actually, like, Will is someone you can ask him any sort of question about football. He's very good, I mean, in researching. He's like one of those people I know for personally. Like, he would not just watch games but really analyze those games and really dig deep into the info about the formations and about the positions that we are playing in, and the roles of the players. Like, really, he's good at that, and I really admire that. And why, you all must be wondering why I have him, especially always for the Champions League game, because Champions League, we all deserve to get the best, and he's one of the best out there that I can actually
Yeah.
get to discuss the Champions League games, really. So that's why we have Will today with us to discuss about the Champions League game. And before I go into Champions League game, Will, how has been your journey supporting Spurs like over the last 10 years or so? Uh,
Yeah, 10 years in total. Like I said, my stepdad's a Tottenham supporter, so I didn't really have a choice. But I mean, it was kind of when, you know, when there was connection, right? My stepdad had always been I mean, like, he's not a super fan. He's just kind of like your regular fan or whatever. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, for me too, I was a coach. So when my kid, that's kind of why I get into the tactics and the stuff like that. I have a grassroots coaching license, um, and so I look at the game a little bit differently than, I guess you could say, your average Joe does. But yeah, and then for me, I'm just very logical, black and white thinker anyway. So I like data, I like numbers, I like math, I like you know debate. So that's where I get
yeah,
that's where I get it from.
that's good. That's good to know. So it has been overall, I think, a pretty much of a good journey, I think, suppose, for you. Like, it turned out well, I
Yeah, I mean,
suppose.
you're talking Harry Redknapp, um, end of Harry Redknapp, beginning, all of Pochettino, and then the last 4 years have been rough, but compared to the first 6 years, but yeah, it's going good.
Good to hear that that you see things very from a very positive perspective, I suppose. uh
No, I'm negative. If you believe Twitter, I'm negative. So
I don't believe Twitter has all sort of nonsense, I think. I'm kind of new to the Twitter world. I think Will knows. I only started like going on Twitter like recently, just very recently, and the amount of nonsense that I have started seeing there, it's just horrible.
Twitter is the worst social media network there is. So
That's one.
it's where you have all the keyboard warriors, all of the people who are just absolutely trolls and deluded and clowns. That's where they all go to congregate. Look, if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I wouldn't use Twitter at all. So
Same here. I think I wouldn't use Twitter either if not for this stuff. Really, like, for the longest of time. I mean, I had a Twitter, but I think I only posted. I only looked at people's tweets and stuff like that. I'm mostly active on Instagram and Facebook, but never went on Twitter. But anyways, it's a horrible place to be. If you don't know, get to know.
if you don't know,
But
get to know.
yeah, and now we are here to discuss the AC Milan fixture, and I remember last time we did this as a recording, and when we did that as a recording, we recorded that before the Leicester game, and in the Leicester game, a lot of things changed. We had like 2 or 3 injuries, I think, in that game, and the whole overview changed. So this time we decided that we'll do it live, so at least whatever happens, it's live, and nobody can then accuse me that, yeah, we told you all lies. No, so it's all live, guys. Whatever we are telling you is the current situation today. No lies will be spoken here. Although I did mention in that video as well that this was recorded before the Leicester game, but still, I got
Yeah,
like,
it was recorded. People know. Yeah,
yeah.
pre-recorded.
So, anyways, let's go into it. Tell us about it, Will. So last time, actually, when we had a chat, you were pretty optimistic about that game. I remember you mentioned that, yeah, we can actually pull it through, but somehow I remember. But to be fair to you, I think the kind of circumstances that we went through, the injuries and all that, it didn't turn out really well for us. And I think the suspension. Um, Now this round, actually going into the home game, what are your feelings and what are your overall thoughts going into this?
Well, we got to win, right? We don't have a choice anymore. There's no, it's do or die, right? So got to win. You got to win by 2. So, you don't want to go to you don't want to go to penalties with Fraser Forster in the in goal. So
Fraser, Foster, and goals. I don't want to go in penalties either, even if it's Hugo. I mean, our goalkeepers are not good at defending penalties. So, uh, and how do you think it would be like in terms of our pickup and all that games that we have been playing? We have been playing recently quite a few games. Do you think that this game we have to work out our tactics a bit, do a bit of rotation? Um, and recently we have been doing a bit of rotation. Do you think that what might our best 11 look like for this kind of game? Like we have been rotating quite a few players recently, and we have rested a few. Like Emerson has not played like the last two games, I suppose. Or was he in the? I think he was in the.
No, just the last one.
Yeah,
Right.
just the
He
last one.
played.
He was.
He played against Sheffield United, right? Didn't he? No.
No, he didn't. He didn't play against Sheffield and some other players as well. Like they have. We have been seeing constant rotation among the front three. What do you expect going into this fixture? Like, because our performance
I
is
guess
not
Chelsea
horrible.
was the last game he played. Huh?
Yeah, I think it was the
Well, he
last game.
came on, I think, at the end of Sheffield United, but he didn't do anything. But look, I like Pedro Porro. I think it's going to take some time for Pedro Porro to bed in. It took time for Kulusevski to bed in a little bit last season too, and he immediately after once did that kind of went off on this tear and did that. I think Pedro Porro is a good signing. I'm not worried about him.
Neither am I.
But Emerson too. I mean, he's been playing well as well, right? So seems like he's kind of gotten his legs out from underneath him. So either one over there, I'm not really concerned about. It's the other side that I'm worried about. Ivan Perisic for me, especially since the World Cup, has been very, very, very disappointing for me.
I agree.
Not only is he occupying a lot of the spaces where Son usually occupies when he's successful, but his form has been really bad lately, right? The assists have dried up. The crosses connecting have dried up. He's given the ball away way too many times. So yeah, I'm not. I don't want him to start. I think, in fact, if he does start, we lose. So, I'd like to see Ben Davies out there on the left. Backline of Romero, Dyer, and Longley.
Actually, Dyer is suspended, so that's another issue.
Dyer suspended?
Yeah, Dyer is suspended for the game because he picked up a yellow card in the home game and he was on the warning.
Well,
So
then looks like we're gonna lose.
looks like we're gonna lose. Unless, I mean, would you play someone like Sanchez in there, which is not good either?
No,
And
I wouldn't play Sanchez.
I also wouldn't play Sanchez. Like if Dyer is not around, I think then it has to be the back line of Davis.
I mean, you could put
Langley.
Emerson over there on Perisic's side. I mean, that's the only thing I think of. Play him inverted over there on the left, like we used to do with Doherty sometimes.
I wonder if Perisic can play there. Oh, sorry, if Emerson can play there, or do you think it would be maybe?
I mean, he's
Pedro Porro?
right-footed, right? So,
He's right-footed. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he'd just be inverted. So, just like Doherty was.
Yeah. Emerson
Or throw
there.
Pedro Porro over there, right?
Yeah,
Like
throw
I
Pedro
don't know,
Porro
but I would rather have Emerson be over there, to be honest with you. But
to just strengthen the right side, I suppose, because currently Kolu has been kind of off as well. Is that the reason why would you play Pedro
no, I
over
just
there?
don't want Ivan Perisic to play.
To be honest, if not for this situation, I wouldn't want Ivan Perisic to be there as well. Recently, his performance has been kind of awful. Like, I don't understand, why does he go so deep with his crosses? He always put a cross in an area where we are not good to score from. Like, that's one thing I really don't understand. Why can't he just pull a ball a little earlier? And always he's like a seconds too late for his crosses. That's one thing that has been like,
Yeah,
it's
crosses are
beyond
too
me.
late. Crosses are too early. He doesn't play ball. He didn't pass to Son the entire game last time when Son was making those, inside runs near him. All you had to do was play the ball inside, and Son would have been in on goal. Didn't do it. Look, man, I if he starts, we lose. Simple as that.
I won't disagree with you there as well. Like there's a high chance that if Perisic starts, I think we are gonna be
Yeah,
in a
it's
tough
not
spot.
guaranteed. I mean, if the goals can come from midfield or from the other side of the pitch, or if he scores one himself, I mean, then there's a chance that we could win. But um, yeah, Son, Kulusevski, Mora, um, Kane aren't going to score if he's playing.
Actually, I was just
Left
thinking
winger.
about another possibility. How about Lucas Moura as a wing back, and then you put Pedro Porro on the other side
I mean, if you're
behind?
going to do that, you might as well have Emerson over there, right? So
Yeah, fair point as well. Because Lucas Moura can add that attacking depth, and I don't think that Milan defense is that great. Even though I think that some of their defenders are back, like Tomori is back, the goalkeeper is apparently back as well.
Dest
The,
was on the bench last week or in the last game that they had. Um, so I think everybody's pretty much going to be either fit or close to fit. They may not be starting fit, but they'll be substitute fit, right? So
yeah. But the other one that was surprising to me was that actually Rafael Leao was not even in their lineup for
he was
the last game.
suspended.
He was suspended. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but that's
So,
in the
so,
league. It's not the Champions League, so it
so
don't
it's not
matter.
it
But
won't apply to Champions League, so he would be there as well.
yeah.
And what do you take of Kane lately as well? Like Kane's passing is another one that has been a bit of a concern. Uh, his passes has not been that great as they used to be. His finishing also, I think, in the last couple of games is not there. I feel it's lacking to a certain extent. He seems good with his head, but somehow in his positioning, what do you make of it, Will?
Yeah, I mean, he's being man marked a lot. I think people have kind of found that if they man mark him, they can take him out of it. He's not holding the ball up well. His passes from holding the ball up have been pretty poor as of late. So yeah, I mean, um, I think teams have kind of figured how to shut him down in this Conte system pretty easily, and um, it's worked. So I mean, I think it's been a couple games. It has been a long time since the last time he scored, but I think it's been a couple games. So
Yeah, it's been like when was he scored? I think in the Chelsea game, right? Well, was the last one, but that was like a header, I suppose.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a header that he scored. I think that was a
no, it
pretty
was
lucky.
the um off Dyer's head, and then he tapped it in. Right.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so anyways, I personally felt that like I was having a discussion as well with someone, but he has been actually pretty lucky in a way, although some fans would say that he's not getting the supply he needs, but he hasn't had any of the goals that are really individual effort goals, or they are like really cool goals. For instance, if you look at Son's goal that he had against Leicester recently this year, they were really good efforts. They were like good goals, you can call them. They were not the clear cut chances. But Kane's goals have been pretty much like tap ins or penalties, or those easy shots. What do you make out of it? Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, most of his goals have been from set pieces and pretty close to net to goal. But service wise, I don't think that that's necessarily true.
it's
He's
less less.
averaging 40 touches a game this season, and last season he averaged um 41. So two touches less per game on average. So he's getting just the same amount of service he got last season.
Yeah. And I mean, all his goals are assisted goals, anyways. They are not individual efforts. So you can't say that Kane is not getting the supply he needs. But don't you think,
That's
Will,
what
that
people
even
who don't look at the actual facts say, right?
the eye test people?
Yeah.
Uh, don't you think actually, Will? This is another conversation I wanted to have. Since now this we are playing against an Italian team as well, who plays a 3-4-2-1 as well at times. Uh, don't you think that in the 3-4-2-1 system, the role of the number 9 player is to sometimes come in and play as a false 9 as well, to attract the defenders and then release the wingers to score? Like, let's say what Kane used to do the last season for Sun.
Yeah, so like if you're in a counter attack, that's what their role would be, right? In possession based. where you're building out of the back, it would be a different role, right? But in a counterattack, yes, because that's the fat. It's just about moving the ball quickly, right? So the ball comes to him, who's in midfield. Other people overlap. He plays the ball in behind, right? That's how a counterattack works. When you're playing out of the back and you're moving it up, passing it around, then he has time to get in position up higher up, and he doesn't have to drop back as much, right? And then Kulusevski or Son tend to have their back to goal in that type of a situation. So it just depends. I mean, it really depends on
where you are in that particular play.
yeah.
And also, I mean, the problem definitely is that we are relying heavily on Kane for the creativity at the moment, because you don't have Bentancur, who was kind of giving you the creative element in the midfield for the last few games, and then he's not going to be there for the Champions League. And I mean, he's suspended for long. We all know that. And defensively, also, you're not getting the backup. So, do you think that Kane would be the significant player for us in that Champions League game in order to supply us a bit of creativity? Since Son has been doing quite a lot of defensive work as well lately. He has been dropping deep, and I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
there was
Bentancur really didn't create many chances. Definitely didn't create any big chances for us this season. He's more of like a transition based, building out of the back. Our the creativity that we have is really come from Harry Kane's created 9 big chances this year. Son's created, 5, and then I think the rest of it's probably gonna be like Kulusevski and Perisic, right? So Kulusevski's created 6, and then Perisic just created
like 4 or 5, I think, around there only.
6. Yeah. So it's Son, Kulu, Perisic, Kane. And Kane hasn't created a whole lot more. I mean, 3 more than everybody else, right? So those are big chances, high scoring opportunities. I'm sure Emerson's probably got a few too. Emerson Royale has. Nope, he didn't have any. So yeah, Perisic. Højbjerg has, I think, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
just
Højbjerg has
Kane,
been
Son,
better.
Kulusevski, Perisic are the only people that have been creating this season for us. So
Yeah. Uh, going back to the point again now. Again, another player who has been out of the form since the World Cup. I think even before the World Cup, he had that injury. Uh, yeah, actually, Sweden didn't play in World Cup, so sorry, he was not in the World Cup team. Kulusevski, I mean, what has wrong? But what has been wrong with him lately? He has been. He doesn't
I
look
don't
like.
think he's been horrible, but he hasn't been great either, right? Like, people. This is the thing that bothers me about fans is that they, they're very, very quick to jump on the shit train, as they like to call it, calling people names and stuff like that. I'm not worried about Kulusevski. My view is you always start your best players if they're fit and able to go, right? Like, not for like a normal rotation where they're tired, they just need to sit out a game or whatever to get some legs back or to save them for a more important competition. I'm not talking about that kind of a sit. But because of bad form, no, you play your best players. And Kulusevski's our best player, so he should start there.
Yeah, he should
Kane
be starting.
Kulu's son should start the majority of games, right?
Yeah, they should be starting majority of the game. I
Regardless of
mean,
their form.
how are Lucas Moura in there? Because like lately, he has looked
As a
pretty
sub, yeah,
sub.
but
He
not
has,
not starting in the Champions League. No.
I don't think he has in his legs as well to be a starter at this point. Like
Yeah. Do I
he's
think that Lucas Moura is a better footballer than Danjuma? Yeah, I do.
of
But
course better than Richarlison, I'll say. Even
um,
to
but
an extent,
especially on that right hand side, right? That's where he's played
he's good.
for the majority of his time at Tottenham, right? So, he was the best for me as an attacking mid in a Jose system, but you know, over there on that right attacking mid, I don't think he's played bad. I don't know why people are upset about him being there when he hasn't played poorly. Right? He's created shooting opportunities. He's created. I think he's got some GCAs, some goal contributing actions, and
and he has been injured for half of the season. And since he has come back, like he has shown a lot more positivity in his play compared to all the others that we have that have been trying to fill in that spot, but they can't. Like Richarlison, I mean, he has played a few games. We all have seen how awful he has been lately. Like, I know Richard,
I
the
don't think
fans.
Richarlison's necessarily been like, you know, god awful, but he's not going to score. He's not going to create, right? Like from the last match that he played, that he started, he played 80 something minutes, had 46 touches, one key pass, one cross that didn't connect, one clearance, and one interception or something like that. And then Son did the exact same numbers, but had more key passes in 11 minutes. Right? So that's the problem is he just doesn't do anything, right? So if you've got two people over there on that left-hand side that don't do anything, Perisic and Richarlison, it makes it look really bad. But
It does.
they don't connect. The ball where that's just where the ball goes to die or get turned over to the other opposition team, right? So I think that's why he looks really bad over there on the left-hand side. You know, if Kulu needs a break, that's fine. He can play on the right, right? But he's
Have
not
you
good
ever
over
seen?
there either. So
Have you ever seen Kulu on the left? No, also right.
no, he's always on the right.
Yeah, he's always on the right as well. Actually, this is a good point that you brought up, guys, and I want someone, and I want people to see that right now. Actually, Will has been lately a bit critical about Richarlison, but the moment I say that Richarlison has been awful, he was there to correct me there that he has not been that awful really. So that's something that really, as fans, we should have as well. Like you shouldn't be exaggerating the fact that some has been really bad, and I appreciate that about you, Will, really. So I wanted to point
Well,
that
it's because
out.
I'm not emotional about
Yeah,
facts, right? Like facts, my emotions don't influence facts, right? And so for me, even though I don't think that Richarlison is a good player, he's been what six? Like I think if you're like a statistical score is like 6.6 or something like that, 6.65 maybe, which isn't good, right? It's just slightly above average. But it's not bad either. Right? It could be worse. It could definitely be worse.
I think sometimes, do you think it's maybe the expectations that the fans have from certain players, like, oh,
Yeah,
some
but
people will see.
expectations belong to you. They're not real, right?
Yeah,
So um, people will never live up to your expectations. If you have expectations that your wife cooks you dinner and she doesn't do it, then you get mad at her for it. That's your fault. Did you ask her? Did you tell her? Right? If you don't communicate your expectations, that's why I always ask people why, right? Why? What have they done? What's your expectation? What do you expect him to do? Right? And people don't like to give expectations because then once you've that's the thing. Once you've said what your expectation is or what your standard is, now I can see if you're right or wrong, right? But if you hide that, if you're obtuse with it, then you can always be right. You never have to be wrong. That's what a lot of people like to do in this day and age. It's pretty sad, to be honest with you.
yeah, I agree. I hope you have had your dinner, by the way.
I had pizza a few hours ago.
Yeah, good. That's good. That's good. Uh, Again, I mean, since we are on the expectations as the expectation talk, I think there are a lot of expectations that are on Hoiberg as well. I mean, in another way, Ali, if you're listening, I think you definitely expect quite a bit from Hoiberg. Uh, how is he gonna be like in the midfield now? And again, would you start Sar or would you start Skip and Hoiberg since they have been playing lately together? That's another discussion that we usually go into. Like Sar is much more calm on the ball. He doesn't give out too many fouls. Whereas Skip can be sometimes a bit reckless, and he can concede some fouls and some early yellow cards, and then he might look a little bit off. Like something like what Romero does as a centre back. Skip is like the midfield version of Romero at times. I mean, not always, but he can be sometimes a bit reckless. What do you think about that midfield problem that we have in Bentancur and Bisuma's absence?
I mean, Hoiberg can be good and sometimes, and he can have bad games, right? That's just the way Hoiberg is. He's never bad, but he can have worse games, right? He can be good, and then he can have, average games. There's only a few times where he's cost us some things. Like I think he was at fault for the goal against um, Sheffield United.
Yeah, that goal, the one where Sanchez
Um,
slipped, I think.
well,
That
because the guy played it, he kind of moved his leg. It bounced off his legs in the air, fell to the guy in the box, and then was anticipating him to go upfield, and he didn't. He went right through it and just let him right past him, right? And so, if he would have cleared that ball away or chased it down after it bounced off his leg, like he just kind of watched it, and then it fell right to that guy. Then he moved. But if he would immediately chase the ball down to try to win it, um, we'd still be in the FA Cup most likely. But
if only not for that, right?
huh?
If only not for that and some other issues, we would have been in FA Cup still.
I mean, you never know, right? That changes the game. So, but yeah, I mean, it's but no, I'd start Skip. I think Skip's had a good game. I thought he had a good game against Wolves. I thought we played well against Wolves up until they kind of switched to the different formation and around the hour mark. This really when they really started to kind of step it up. But again, Fraser Forster, his clearances when he comes out to punch the ball or make a save are just really bad. Every one of them ends right back up in the box. They needs to be clearing them away, not straight in front of them. Then the center backs have to scramble, and then things like like what happened at Wolves on the weekend. It was disappointing. We should have, according to the XG, we should have beaten them.
At least
1-0. So it was like
2-0,
1.3 to 0.4, right? So we
unlucky
dominated statistically the entire game, possession, every aspect of it. There's no reason why we shouldn't have won that game. It's really disappointing. We'd be what, 1 point behind Manchester United now, who just got slapped today, 7-0.
Oh wow, that was one hell of a beating. Like, who would have expected Liverpool in this form to beat United 7-0?
It's like Aston Villa beating Liverpool a couple years back 7-2, right? So
yeah, 7-2. So that's the fun thing about football. Or anything can happen at any time. Like,
but let's not. They did it to Bournemouth too. They beat Bournemouth 9-0 earlier in the season and still have been crap afterwards. So let's not get everybody's like they're back.
They're back. I think Spurs fans are gonna be the first one. They're back. They're back. We tend to do that.
A lot of games left, man. We got 12 games left, right? So, and we have a really easy run. Should have beaten Wolves, in my opinion. But there's a lot of people said that we would lose to Chelsea. So
Yeah, that was another one.
It's kind of worked its way, evened itself out, right? We should have beat Wolves, but most people expected us to lose Chelsea or at least draw Chelsea. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, again, we are definitely one of the most unpredictable teams. Like, we can lose to anybody and we can win against anybody. If you were to consider that, right?
Yep.
Compared to like, we are consistently inconsistent in our performances.
I mean, there could be an argument made that it's maybe a good thing we lose on Wednesday, right? I mean, focus on the league. Only play one game a week.
Yep.
I mean, because unless you think we have a chance of actually winning the Champions League. Now, look, I always would rather win games than lose them. So, even the Conference League, I said I wanted to keep going and keep winning.
Yeah.
People act like we got knocked out of the Conference League. We didn't. No. We actually got disqualified for not showing up to a match because of COVID, right? So, people let's be factual here. Right? If we had won that game and we could have gotten through. So
yeah, that was another funny one. Like, I mean, I defended Spurs back then. I remember in December. I didn't have like a YouTube channel back then or Twitter, but I was in this chat with a few other fans, and there was a lot of discussion going on. And Spurs fans were the first one actually to say like, "Oh, we got knocked out. We're so bad," and all that. Actually, we didn't. We went through the circumstances that they just didn't turn out well for us, really. And
yeah, COVID knocked us out of the.
Yeah, COVID is not knocked out.
But anyway, so I want to win. I hope we win. I think we'll win. I think we'll win like 2. 2-1, and then maybe a third goal in overtime, or
But we can't
1-0
win.
in regular time, 1-0, and then score another one in extra time. So
Actually, it's really possible to, I think, win, have a, like a 2-0 sort of victory, given Milan. But even Milan side, actually, where do you see the possible threats can come from? Is it their attack, their midfield, attack, I suppose?
I mean, kind of all of it. I mean, their attack isn't super great, but they got good wing backs. They got good. Um, the midfielders are back. Although their last performance, it's like Ben Acker's back, or Ben Acer, or Ben Nasser, or however you say his name.
I think Ben Iser. I'm not
But
good
they
at
just
pronouncing.
lost to Florentina. And best player for them again, and the guy who scored was Teo Hernandez, right? So,
Yep.
and then their holding midfielders are pretty good. You have Ismail Benacer and Tonali, but Rebic, Charles de Ketelere, I mean, he had a pretty decent game. Looks like he was statistical man of the match. But yeah, man, it's good. We have to wait and see, man. Just all depends. If the crowd helps out, if they step up, if the players step up, we can win easy. We can win 3-0, no problem.
Yeah,
But it
if
just
you
depends
only
on who
step
shows.
up, right?
Yeah. You step it
Yeah,
up. Only if you step it up.
yeah. By the way, just it's just a very funny fact that I didn't do the streams the days actually we have lost the past two games. So step up Spurs need to be on if the Spurs need to step
Step it
up.
up, buddy. I do win or lose, man. We do the post match show. So
Well, you didn't do the one against Sheffield United. But
I
I
was
heard you were
sick.
unwell.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard.
I was sick that day. So I was asleep.
Yep.
I didn't even
Like I
watch the
was.
game until like midnight, 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah, were you
So
like shocked after that result when you heard about
no,
it? Were
I'm never
like,
shocked when we lose. So
yeah, calm as always, Will Stewart.
well, no, I mean because we could lose to anybody. That's the thing. So why would there be shock? I don't have an expectation. I mean, I have expectations. I want the club to win titles, right? But I mean, as far as like each individual game, like even though I know that we should beat Team X or Team Y or Team Z, it doesn't mean that we will. So I don't get shocked. Now I'd get shocked if I woke up and we had lost 7-0, like Manchester United did today.
Oh my goodness. Some of my friends are gonna wake up today. All my Man U fans, especially my big boss, he was having a discussion with me like 2 3 days ago. We are gonna win the quadruple, and I don't think he would have watched the late night game. I'll text him later and see how is he
Oh,
feeling.
I'm sure you can't not watch Manchester United versus Liverpool if you're a United fan.
No, I think he's pretty old, so I don't think he watched the late night games.
Mm.
It was here 1 a.m. 2 a.m. sort of thing, and Sunday night is bad for us, as you know. I mean, I work in a church, so uh, that
Yeah,
yeah. Anyway, so is your score prediction is I think 2-0. Is it 2-0?
yeah, 2-0, something like that. 2-0, 3-1.
3-1 or 2-0? I think I'll go with that's the one that we need, right? Or are you saying that because we need a 2 goal margin, or is it your actual prediction that you would come out
Both.
with both? I think okay, this is just me. I think it's gonna be a 1-0 1-0 victory for us, and then it might go to the pens and we might lose. I had this certain I have this really bad feeling like we might lose on pens. Like
Yeah, so I think we'll score. I think yesterday on my show I said that it would be 1-0 at 90 minutes, and then we would score the winner in extra time. So
who will score the winner? Sun. It would be interesting, right, bro? If Sun scored that winner.
only if Perisic goes off.
I hope I hope he does really like. I mean, I would love to see Son doing well in Champions League as well. Actually he is doing very well in Champions League. If you look at his record, to me actually at this point he has been our best player in the Champions League lately. What do you think about that one? Like I mean, in league, yeah, he has not been that great, but in
Yeah,
Champions
I
League,
think
I
he's
think
second best player. Like even statistically, I think even based on SOFA scores in the Champions League, I think he's number two. I think it's either Højbjerg or Bentancur that's in first. I think. But
yeah.
yeah,
So really, if Son does really well, I mean, it will be
Son has two
exciting.
goals and one assist, I think, and I think Højbjerg
That's
has
the
like
most from
one
any.
goal and three assists or something like that. So
So three and four goal contributions. I mean, yeah, Højbjerg has been another player that has been really instrumental for us so far in that Champions League campaign, and he was out in the last game. Back three again. So we were just having a discussion. So you would actually prefer Langley, Davis, and Romero, I suppose. But where would you go
yeah,
with
I
that?
mean whoever's available, right?
Or would
If
you or
Dyer's
would
not
you
available, then
would you sacrifice Davis to be on the wing and put in, like, let's say Sanchez there or Tanganga there? What do you think about that one? I know you said that you won't play Sanchez, but how about, let's say, Tanganga there?
no.
No, also. Yeah, I don't think that any of them are good enough. And again, so I've been accused lately of being racist towards these players. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that they are not good enough, really.
Yeah,
Uh,
just
and
dumb people appeal to race unless you make it about race, right?
yeah, and
So
anyways, I mean, it's a dumb comment, really. So score predictions done, and I think that's about it. Will, tell us, where can people find you if they want to find you?
you can find me at Will Stewart 365 at Tottenham Away. Yeah. And next time we'll be live. I'm actually headed out of town on a business trip Wednesday morning, so I won't be doing shows after post match show, and I won't be here on the weekend either for whoever it is we have next on
We
the weekend.
have who's up next? Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Nottingham
Yeah,
Forest. So,
not an important one, I think. I
but they're
think we
all
should be
important now. We gotta win them. We gotta keep our lead over Liverpool, right? So
as long as the top four is concerned. But I don't know why. Like, I mean, I'm kind of like not bothered about the league anymore because somehow the top four, nah. Like, I'd rather we go on into Europa League and then let this fan
I
base.
don't just from pride. I like not for like getting top four gets us money or it can get us players. Look, if Arsenal's going to end up winning the league or being in Champions League, I don't want them singing, my song.
Watching Tottenham on a sorry, watching
Yeah,
Arsenal on a
watching
Wednesday.
Tottenham on a
No, no, so it's watching Arsenal on a Wednesday night.
yeah, watching Arsenal on a Wednesday night. You play Thursday because you're from. I don't want to hear that stuff from those guys. That's my song.
I also do want to hear that.
That's the song I get to sing.
But I have a feeling we might have to hear that seriously, bro. Like when we were up
Oh.
in summer, I think I sang the
I haven't
song like,
had I dude. We haven't had St. Tottering's Day,
yeah.
and I can't remember the last one, bro. Since I've been a hardcore dedicated fan, like week in, week out, watch every game, buy the merch, do all the stuff. We haven't finished behind Arsenal, so last 6 or 7 years we haven't finished behind Arsenal. So
And finally, they're finishing above us. I think it's very likely that they will finish above us, right,
I
this
thought I
season.
was the good luck charm.
I
You
thought
know,
that too, bro. Like when we finished in the top four and when Conte came, things were getting better. I thought that, yeah, I was the good luck charm, but no, I'm not.
yeah.
It has been like that. Yeah, but by the way, guys, I've brought in the link to Will's channel in the chat as well. So if you're watching
Or
now, if
Tottenham
you're
Way.
watching, yeah.
That's
Oh
also
yeah,
one of my channels. So I'm an
way.
official member of Tottenham Way. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but
Yeah, you are the official co-host at Tottenham Away, right?
that's right. Yeah.
And yeah, recently Tottenham Away has hit 10K subscribers. They're having a
Yeah.
celebration
10K
soon.
tomorrow. 10K
Correct.
party tomorrow over on Tottenham Way. Make sure you guys go check that out.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
check that out as well if
yeah.
I'm awake at that time, because the times that you guys do shows, I'm usually sleep. The Tottenham Away timing just doesn't go with me. Yeah, so the links for both Tottenham Away and Wilshire 365 is in the chat. So make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe to all the videos. I'm usually there for the THFC Rant show post match, so you can always find me there. Because some of them ask me like, "Where am I? Why do I not do the post match reviews?" Because usually I do my post match with Will actually on his channel. So that's me. I usually do the pre-match stuff, and And as always, I think you can find me there as well on Sunday nights or Saturday nights,
It's a good
right?
show. My post match
Yep.
shows is one of the best.
It's
I
one of
think.
the best shows on YouTube. I mean, I feel like home at that show. Seriously,
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a fun show.
like
We have a good
like
time
I'll
over
say that
there.
the time over there is sometimes even better than the time I have even on my own channel. Really, like seriously,
There you
it's
go.
it. Yeah, I mean, personal testimony for all of you. If you all want to really have fun on your Sunday nights, on your Saturday nights, you need a place to rant. You go on there and just do all those things.
That's right. We talk about stats. We yell. We scream. We talk about food or whatever. Doesn't matter, man.
Yeah, it's really fun. I
I've been
mean,
trying to keep the shows down, keep them a little bit shorter lately, because
yeah, understandable.
they could go off 4, 5, 6 hours sometimes, man. But that's it. That's where you
Yeah,
find
man.
me.
I think the first show that I was on your show, it was like it went for like 5 hours, right?
Yep.
That
I
after
wouldn't. I
the
wouldn't doubt it, man. I wouldn't doubt it.
post NLD show. I think those days it used to go very long, but I think these days I'm also pretty busy, and I think Will also has like stuff going on as well, so they all end up early.
Just getting
But
old. I just don't want
anyways,
to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning. So
yeah,
I mean, it's what? It's 8 o'clock my time. I'm already yawning, right? So
8:56
it's
a.m.
getting old. It's getting old man's bedtime. So
Old man, yeah, you are 42.
I'll be 43 in September. So
For yeah, I mean you're still actually yeah you're kind of because yeah my dad is in like his late 40s as well.
there you go.
So he yeah anyway and yeah, so you're almost my dad's age. Sorry.
Almost. Not quite.
Like my dad's I think 49, 48, 49, I think around there. Yeah, so old man.
That's right.
Yeah, anyways guys, so I'll be signing off because I think there's nobody else joining me later. I invited somebody to join me, but I think I've been betrayed.
Stood up.
Not betrayed. Yep, I've been betrayed. So I think that's all for today. I will be doing my Champions League fantasy show. I think either tomorrow to just discuss about how you can build up your Champions League fantasy team, and then I will be doing some stuff on Premier League fantasy as well in the coming week for the Nottingham Forest because I think my team really needs to change in fantasy. It has not been doing well lately. And with that, signing off. Bye for now.